What's up, family? How are you out there? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. I'm Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective, been around since 1994, been credentialed since 1997, been in this game a long time. Doing something a little different. Going to talk after a Rockets preseason game. Rockets waxed the Spurs Sunday evening, 134-96. Already got members of the family in the comment section. Tony M, how are you? Asleep Art, how are you? Deverick, Wise Citizens, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to participate in the conversation. Let's get right into it. How should I put this? David Wynn, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Jabari Smith Jr. knocked down 3 Sunday night. Tari Eason scored 21 points without having a single play called for him. Your thoughts, what you saw. I'm kind of curious how y'all watched the game because it was not on AT&T Sportsnet. It was on Rockets.com, I believe. It was blacked out in Houston via League Pass. So how did you guys watch it? What is Jackson Gatlin? What is he part of? We can watch it and talk with the fans on another, was it Playback, something like that? That platform. Did y'all watch it that way? How did y'all watch the game? Or did you just listen to it on the radio? Or were you in attendance? It was on the Rockets app. There you go, Wise Citizens. So, yep, we in media have to use the Rockets app to get our parking passes. So it's a high-tech world, so we're using the app as well. We all pleased. Hold up. I do not know everything. All right? Let me say that. Let me be clear. Let me repeat it. For anybody saying I'm bragging. I do not know everything. I know some things. I'm not even sure I know a lot. But Mike Will, how are you? I do recall, Mudbone, how are you? I do recall last season, toward the end of the season, wondering why the Rockets do not utilize and use and play Bruno Fernando more minutes. Well, damn it. If the Rockets don't sign Bruno Fernando to a 4-year contract with this season guaranteed, and lo and behold, he's getting minutes. Tari Eason, how are you doing from New Zealand? Lo and behold, how about that? Man, oh man. I think some of y'all were on the Bruno hype train last season with me. What are y'all thinking now? Y'all walking around with your chest sticking out and all that kind of, I mean, really. David Stansberry, how are you as well? But yeah, when Woj announced it, that it was a 4-year deal, and Rockets made it official, today, just how are you doing? In fact, we're going to talk about the game a little bit more, but I just want you guys, if you haven't already seen Coach Silas, his post-game comments on my channel, the Houston Roundball Review, on YouTube or other platforms, I put it together. Coach Silas was asked the questions from a colleague, Jonathan Fagan, about Bruno. Listen to what Coach Silas had to say.
Being the first big off the bench, what has he been bringing in this last 4 or 5 days?
Exactly what you saw. Bring threat when it comes to the role, offensive rebounding, protect the rim defensively as far as his shot blocking. His athleticism is a game changer for us because we have Albie, who's so skilled but not quite as athletic, and then Bruno could come in and be athletic and really, really roll hard, which opens it up for everybody. So his activity, his athleticism are things that we look forward to.
Has some of that progressed since he had 10 games with you last year that he played in? But has some of it improved?
Yeah, it has improved. I mean, he's been with us all summer, and he's been around, and he's been fun to be with, but it has improved. We didn't have him for very long last year, so maybe we didn't get a good look, and we got to know him. He got to know us this summer, but sometimes for bigs, it takes a little longer for them to kind of start to get a little bit, and hopefully this is it.
We had so much pick and roll tonight. and I know you mentioned pregame that you haven't put in some stuff
Right.
yet, but to have the vertical spacing that Bruno brings that's a little different from either the small ball centers or Alpi to some degree, is that part of the plan of, hey, you're going to run this much pick and roll, have a rim runner like that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, to have a dynamic roller it helps everybody. It helps the shooters on the perimeter. It helps the guys coming off the screen. It helps so much. So, we are a heavy pick and roll team. Even when I have the whole playbook in, we're still going to be a heavy pick and roll team. So, to have that dynamic roller is important.
Yeah, I'm glad Bruno gets some shine, getting rewarded with a contract for his work, his effort, his improvement. But some of the things Coach Silas said right there, we said that last year. I mean, but hey, it's what's done is done. Kudos to Bruno. One of his biggest things he needs to work on, obviously, he needs to maintain focus and don't get satisfied with the new contract. Still work hard, but basically on the court, don't get in foul trouble so quickly. Don't pick up silly fouls. Keep yourself in the game. Stay on the court. Keep yourself involved on the floor so you can set those solid screens and roll to the hoop and get those alley-oop passes from Scoot, Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Josh Christopher, whoever it might be. Be valuable to your teammates on offense with the solid picks and rolls to the hoop, and then be a physical presence on defense. A rim protector. We said that last year, fans, family, did we? We said that last year. James Tryon, how are you? But I was glad. I was surprised. Y'all know it. I was surprised when the Rockets and him offered him an Exhibit 10 deal, and I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" But they've rewarded him for his work, his effort this summer. He got rewarded, so it's good to see hard work paying off, hard work being rewarded. So good for Bruno. And now, with him getting a contract this season being guaranteed, the Rockets don't need Willie Cauley-Stein. Us can play some five. Solo, how are you? Yeah, where were you, man? I missed you Saturday on the show, on here. But yeah, so good for Bruno. Good for the Rockets. I think, who was it? We're going to scroll through the earlier comments. I'm not going to adjust my win total. What did I say? I'm still sticking with 28 or 29 wins, Tony M. But because the West is still tough. I mean, the Rockets will be better, but the West will be too. So it's just good. And now we can talk about Jabari and Tari combined 42 points. Tari had a double-double. And again, no plays called for Tari Eason. He was just around the ball. He made plays. He cut. I loved one of his answers last night. I mean, it's good. It was good for me to be inside the building for a game for the first time in a few years. It was good to see the Rockets youngsters get some shine. I'm not going to read anything into J Gup being last, of the core dudes off the bench. Not a big deal. I was glad to see improvements on defense. The rotations were solid. The communication was better. The help defense was better. So those are things we can take. Those are positives to take away from the game. But also, the Spurs are awful. Okay, they're going to be bad. Keldon Johnson is out for a while. He's their best player, which says a lot. If Keldon Johnson is your best player, the Spurs are going to be bad. They're going to struggle to score points probably the entire season. But the Rockets with Bruno have some size and physicality, and a person who can play actual 5 spot rather than small ball 5. You don't have to wear down Jabari Smith at the 5. You can put Bruno at the 5. Let him be physical. Let him throw his body around there. Let him set solid screens. Let him get some dunks, rebounds, some block shots. That's one of the things I've been harping on for a while. So that's a positive. Now he has to do it again. He did it last night. Do it again this Friday, and then next week, and then when the games count for real. Got to be consistent. Okay. And the Rockets scored 134 last night. Jalen Green and Scoot combined to make 6 of 21 field goal attempts. How many of y'all thought that would happen? That the Rockets would score 134 points and their main two weapons in the backcourt make 6 of 21 shots. Positives. We're seeing the positives. I mean, these are positives there. So we're going to see there's going to be an upgraded competition on Friday. But the Rockets were off today. They'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, play Friday. I'm curious. Garage guys, let me put that up there. James Flanagan, how are you? Thank you very much for joining the show. In your comments, don't be a stranger. Come back, tell your friends. I'm not sure how many times I'm going to do this show after games. I'm leaning toward doing them after road games because home games, I think, is just going to take too much. It'll be too late. I was at Toyota Center yesterday from like 5:15 to like 11 o'clock, something like that, around there. And that's for a 6 o'clock game. So for a 7 o'clock game, I'm there till midnight, looks like. So I'm not going to put you guys through that, nor myself, to do post-game shows like that after home games. But I'm leaning toward road games, assuming, of course, there's not a conflict and the Rockets are on the road and UH men's basketball team is at home. So let's figure it out. Hey, let's hang with me. We'll get it done. But I was just now about Boban. Because of his relationship with Coach Silas in Dallas, maybe not. But now with Bruno and Bruno's contract and Bruno's effective play and promise, Boban is truly in case of emergency break glass kind of big man. He may not play for a 10, 15 game stretch. He may get that, as Coach Silas said a few days ago, the David Nwaba treatment. Not play for 15 games in a row and then use him out of necessity, something like that. Because Boban is still a great dude, good locker room guy. But with Bruno on the roster, you don't need size in a slow-footed big man like Boban. So we can talk about that. I was kind of surprised. I was surprised how much run KJ Martin got last night. Now, that could be they were just trying to showcase him for a trade, or they believe in him and will give him a chance to earn minutes early in the season. Time will tell. Could be Garrison Matthews is the odd man out of the rotation. And then how deep will the Rockets rotation be? Jayshawn Tate didn't play last night because of a sore ankle. So, here we go with this question. Come on, Deverick. I'm going to talk about this because we'll get there later on in the season. The Rockets won't tank. The players, let me say that, put it that way. The players will not tank because they want to win. They're competitors. The organization, the higher-ups, may opt to, how should I phrase it? Because they won't use the word tank. They'll use it for develop players, see what other guys have on the roster. So toward the end of late March, and we start seeing some funny lineups, some rotations, and we start seeing Jalen Green and healthy scratches, as we used to say. Then, we see Daisha Nix get more shine and Ty get more shine. And if he's still on the team, Boban get a lot of run toward the end. Then we know that the Rockets are not trying to win. Okay. But until that point, they're going to try to win. All right. And I still maintain the Rockets are going to be too good and win too many games to be one of the 3 worst teams in the league this year. I think we saw one of the 3 worst teams in the league last night in the San Antonio Spurs. No question. They're going to be bad. Then it's a question of OKC looked okay tonight in bits and pieces that I saw. But, I mean, it's preseason. They're a young team, too. Utah, I think, will be bad. Utah, once they trade the rest of their core vets, will be full rebuild. That's 3 teams right there. I don't believe the Pacers are going to be very good either. So that's 4 teams. I don't believe the Rockets will be as bad as those 4 teams. Orlando. Like I said, you toss Orlando in there as a 5th team, the Rockets are in that tier with Detroit. They're not as bad as those 5 teams. So I'm not saying the Rockets nor Detroit are playoff bound this year, but they are moving up the chain, up the food chain, and they're leaving others. The Spurs are trying to rebuild, and they're playing for Victor Wembanyama. And he and Scoot Henderson match up, I think, are going to be on ESPN2 Tuesday and Thursday this week. So tomorrow and Thursday, the 4th and the 6th. So we'll see how things go. And I want to say, I want to catch a little bit of the Darvin Ham-led Lakers this evening. That game starts in about 15, 20 minutes. So I want to catch part of that. Why? Yeah. Rockets don't need Victor Wembanyama. So it's, Solo, you put it out there. I'm putting it out there too. Where is it? I'm putting it out there right here. I can see it. Detroit Rockets in the NBA Finals in about, I'm going to say 4 years. We're not a 3 to 4 year timeline. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm sticking with that. But the Rockets don't need Victor. So let me play 2 more clips from 2 of y'all's favorite Rockets. Y'all know who they are. They came to the podium. They had podium games last night. Here's one of them. And there we go. WK, how are you? So yeah, Rockets. And next year's draft's going to be strong. Well, on paper, projects to be very strong and deeper than the 2022 draft. So the Rockets should get an impact rookie, where top 10 pick next summer. So I'm not basing this on, Aluda, thank you very much as always for your support and your contributions. I'm not basing this on what I saw last night against the Spurs. I'm basing this on the talent I know the Rockets, I see in practice and what I see developing. The future's bright. We keep some guys in bubble wrap so they're going to get hurt and suffer serious injuries. Rockets got a bright future, man. A bright future. Here we go.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, it seemed like they had you in the corner on several threes and you were able to get up and go in. Is that something the coaching staff emphasized throughout training camp, is maybe having you more in the corner and having KPJ and Jalen get you involved there?
Not necessarily emphasize it, but we always focus on whoever is in that corner, being deep, being ready to shoot, because depending on who's in that corner, it kind of takes away from the tag. You can't tag as much. It just helps space on the floor a lot when I'm in that corner, so I don't got no problem with it.
Jabari, speaking of the corner, there was that 1 3 that you made off of a pass from KPJ, cross court, one-handed. What was your reaction just kind of in that moment and, kind of after that, receiving that pass from that read from KPJ?
He made eye contact right before he threw it. I knew it was coming. He made the pass a lot of times in practice, so, I was ready for it. So when he threw it, I was ready to knock it down.
Were you surprised that they gave you that many open shots from the corner tonight?
I honestly was, but I feel like on some of them they were there. Some of them was just good passes, like the one KP, man. You don't expect anybody to make that pass, so I hope they probably got the message now. So
when Big Sarge asked Jabari that question, the look on Tari's face, well, it wasn't just a look. Tari's like, yeah, I was surprised he got so many open shots. Like they didn't figure this out. Don't leave this man open. Tari's like, yeah, I was surprised. So for one game, Jabari looked like what a lot of folks projected and believed he was the top talent in the 22 draft. No concerns about the jump shot last night. And as we've seen in practice, and as we've heard from teammates, he's been knocking down the three in practice. The shot looks pure. The shot wasn't flat like it was in Vegas. And I think that was tired legs and a lot of things like that. But man, young fella was on. He was on one last night. But again, got to do it again. Got to be consistent with it. So Jabari Smith, he ran into Bruno. So that's what happened. So the eyes puffy. I wonder how it looked today. I didn't see pictures of him on Twitter today. So he said during the press conference, he'll put some ice on it, but he's okay. So anybody tuning in and did not see the full clip on YouTube or Rockets.com, Jabari's okay. All right, so just relax on that. But the pull-up three he hit in transition, young man got talent. The future, let me put this up. The future's bright. Rocket fans, I'm telling you, the future is bright. So it's going to be fun for you guys to watch them. And as a media person, it's going to be enjoyable to watch this team develop, improve, and I think get to the point of where they're kicking butt game in, game out. And when opponents come into the building, they know that if the Rockets play their B game, the Rockets are going to win. Not their A game, their B game, the Rockets are going to win. Get to that level. So I'm looking forward to the future covering the Rockets. Basketball in H-Town looks pretty good right now. So one more from the other man who came to the podium last night, podium game. Mr. Mentality. This is how he plays. This is my mindset. Tari Eason. Here we go from Tari Eason.
I think just, my mentality never changes. The way I play the game never changes. Just the things I bring to the floor just kind of don't change. I'm always going to be in the right spot, get after it defensively, and just play and be one of the hardest playing dudes on the court. So I think that that translates at any level, and I'm just continue to do that.
I was going to ask kind of the same thing. It looked like the way we're playing was very much like last year. Is that how it felt, or how did it feel?
I feel like everything, up until this moment, the coaches, even, through this off-season training, has prepared me for this moment. So really, I was just, comfortable out there once I got settled in.
For either of you guys, what do you think stood out defensively tonight about just how things looked, the way you guys were able to be disruptive and holding the Spurs to such a low point total?
I think the things that stood out to me is just, our ability to be in our gaps and our ability to recover, and our scramble defense. I think a couple times, we were scrambling and, it was a late clock and, we ended up forcing a turnover. So in some of those possessions. So I think, just continuing to be in our spots, continuing to talk, communicate, and everything should be all right.
Everything should be all right. Yeah. And y'all know me. Most of y'all who've been with me since near the beginning of these shows know I'm a defensive guy first. So it does me good to hear the Rockets players talking defense. It does me good, my old heart, my old bones, to hear youngster Jackson Gatlin ask about defense. Folks finally are appreciating defense and the value and importance of it for winning. Does my heart good. All right. But yep, Mike Will, Tari Eason, Tony M. Basketball is going to be fun here in H-Town for a few more years. For what's this question? I think that's the question of how many more years that's going to last. Lionel Hollins. Let me say this. This is kind of behind the scenes, I guess, without divulging too much goings on. Brandon Thomas, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Last night, the NBA has announced different tier 1 statuses for media to cover games, the protocol for post game. So Coach Silas spoke first, and then it was a long gap before anybody else spoke. Locker room was open. I stayed in waiting on Jabari and Tari, because I was like, well, they're going to talk soon, because they're not going to talk in the locker room and talk in the media room. Long time passed. Coach Silas walked by the media room 2 or 3 times. And the last time we waited so long, the last time he walked by, he gave us, "I'm out of here." So that's how long it took for everything to happen last night. So it's just, I think Mahmoud said bye, Luke said bye, didn't see Coach Batiste, but everybody said bye. We're still waiting for Jabari and Tari to come talk to us. So that's another reason why no show last night, because everything took so long. I also found out that Tillman and the practice facility was tabled for a while. It hasn't been brought up for discussions, but we will talk about it going forward to ask Tillman about it. But Tillman had plans for having a property near the Post Oak area, and deal was not a good deal. So that's what kind of ended those talks. So they may get brought up again soon, because the Rockets need a new practice facility. Alan, I think the only interest in keeping Derek Favors is for a trade asset. I mean, really, I don't see him playing a lot of minutes here. So, I mean, he's here to trade and get the pick and return in the deal. He won't be. I'd be stunned if he's here past the trade deadline in February. Stunned. So, but yeah, so that's one thing I found out about the training facility. Like I said, I'm back in the mix, back in the building. So, the reasons for it are part of life, but I'm back in the building. I'll be doing more things basketball-wise here in town. And like I said, in a couple of weeks, I'll be at the Big 12 Media Day. So I'm going to be on the road a few times, college and pro, this season as well. So getting back into it, it's good to be around basketball again. It's good to be in my element. I was at UH practice last week, Rockets practice, of course, Rice Sal's practice. I'll be at TSU hopefully this week as well for practice. I love watching practice. That's one of the things I really enjoy. But yeah, Brandon, Rockets got a lot of bigs. I don't see Willie Cauley-Stein being here, but the Rockets signing Bruno to the 4-year deal, and this year being guaranteed. They got Derek Favors now. They want to play Oos at the 5 some. If they keep Boban, I mean, you don't need Willie Cauley-Stein with Bruno now locked up on his contract. So, Wise Citizens, thank you for the compliment. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you what I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you stuff that's off the record that I got to keep my sources tight. But I'm going to tell you what I can tell you and tell you what I know. So, and Rockets are deep. Garage guy, I saw bits and pieces of Paolo tonight. Last I saw, he had 6 points. That's all I saw. So I haven't seen anything since then. So if Willie's going to the Vipers, Terry, if he comes to the Rockets, where's he going to play? Whose minutes will he take? I thought he was as sure as a lock as you could be before Bruno signed the contract. But now, I don't see it. And he's still got to get himself together, because last season in Dallas was not good for him. So he's got to get himself right. Now, clearly, I would say if he's in the Rockets' plans, then Boban's not going to be in Rockets' plans. I don't see the Rockets keeping both, especially Oos, Bruno, Derek Favors, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Boban. I don't see that happening. But the Rockets have depth, and legit depth. It may be inexperienced at some spots, but depth at every position now. Think about this, folks. Think about what was not too long ago. And what it is now and what it could be going forward. Improvement. Brighter days are ahead. You heard Jabari and Tari, what they said post-game. Usman looked good last night. He's healthy. He played well in Spain, helping them win a championship. More confidence for him. Us has skills. Us just got little nagging injuries and couldn't stay healthy to play for the Rockets consistently. If he can do that, the talent will come shining through. So, yeah, Paolo at 8 points. Orlando is going to be interesting because the first half I saw that game, they went with bigs, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter, and Paolo up front. I don't know if I want Paolo as my small forward. I don't know about that. So, but that's them. But Josh Christopher shooting better. I hope y'all saw it. If you hadn't seen it, Jacob, I put a link to it on the YouTube Houston Roundball Review YouTube community tab. Josh is announcing launching his clothing deal at the Rockets team shop. Everything will be launched Saturday at the Rockets open practice. If you want to attend, I think you have to register at the Rockets website at rockets.com. So take care of that if you want to be there and see the guys. I won't be there Saturday. I got other stuff to do Saturday afternoon. So, but if you want to go into the Rockets open practice, take care of that and just register and go through those minor things and probably get it done on the Rockets app and go see your team. Have some fun, dance, sing, and they'll have fun Saturday. So yeah, Brandon, I agree. Playing, I just don't see it. Okay, mainly because the West is so good. Okay, I mean that's no shade on the Rockets. The Rockets should be better this year, but the West will be good too and improve. So if the Rockets, let me say this. I do not see the Rockets winning 37 games like my man Sarge does, Big Sarge. Don't see that. I'm topping off at probably 30. I don't think 30 is going to get you in the play-in. So they would have improved 10 wins, but I still don't believe that's the play-in. So Atalanta, you be there Saturday, you enjoy it. They're going to be fun. They're going to be fun and compete in every game this season. And that's a step of progress in the right direction. So that's a positive. And where was it? Let me get the question up. I saw it for Mike Will. Last night's game not being on locally, one comment I heard had to do with the Astros. And I thought the Astros game was over. It was like an afternoon game. So I'm not sure. But it's not going to be a consistent thing this season. It was just one of those things that the game was on the app. And it could have been the NBA trying to get fans to download the app because they've been pushing the new app. I mean, the NBA has a new app. I think all the teams launched updates for their team app. So that might be part of that mindset and logic as well. But going forward, most of the games will be on locally, AT&T Sportsnet. With the new, I see that commentary. Rockets beat the Lakers in the standings. I don't know. Oh boy. No, I don't know about that. If that happens, the Lakers, the train came off the tracks. So no, I know, Brandon, you are set in your 33 wins, and I respect that. But yeah, if the Rockets have a better record than the Lakers, but that's one thing I want to see. I do want to see part of the Russ experiment this evening to just put my 4 eyes on that game and just get a look at it. So, but if the Lakers win less games than the Rockets, that's their fault. That's their problem. Hey, ain't nothing to do with me. That's on them. That's on them and their mistakes and their piss poor personnel decisions. That's on them. But let me see. The Rockets, it's going to be an upgrade in competition this Friday. We agree on that. The Spurs are just not going to be good. Okay, they're not. But think about it. Rockets play the Spurs, I think 4 times this season. That's 4 wins. They play Utah 3 or 4 times, wins. OKC wins. Pacers, maybe the road game in Indiana. They could win both, but most likely, let's say split. Rockets could reach half of their my projected win total by beating the bottom feeders. That's a step in the right direction. First things first, beat the teams you're better than. Do that, and then compete against everybody else and pick up a few wins against those teams who are better than you. They're on their way. So Pop was so he was Pop is Pop. Y'all know it. He, after the game, his post game, I think, was like, I don't know clockwise, but it couldn't have lasted more than 3 minutes. I mean, he went straight to his media, I think the visitors, right outside the locker room, and he was done. He was done. I think he was finished with his post-game comments before Coach Silas came in and talked to us. And Coach Silas came in and talked to us like within 8 minutes of the game being over. Pop was already done. So, but looking forward to Friday, Raptors and the Rockets. Better competition, upgraded competition, better talent. So we'll get another judge of how that looks. And I think we can talk about that matchup, that game on Saturday in another edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. So, like I said, home games, most likely I won't have a show at the night of the home game. But road games, we shall see. But yeah, it's preseason because during the regular season, Pop calls a timeout sometimes within a minute of the game if he sees something he doesn't like. He waited last night, I think, to call a timeout. The Spurs are down 20 before he called his first timeout. Pop knows what he got. He knows what this team is. He knows no Josh Primo, no Keldon Johnson. He knows what this team is. So it's a question of how long will he endure it this season? He can say right now that he knows that he's enjoying teaching. Okay, but Pop's 73 years old. So how much longer will he enjoy the teaching and the head scratches? So, but Friday against the Raptors, Rockets. Okay, all right. How many folks agree with this comment from Tony M? Okay, and I guess, all right, well, Tony, let me ask you this. What number counts as beating the brakes off the Raptors this Friday? 20? 15? More than 20? What counts as beating the brakes off the Raptors? So anybody want to take those bets right there? Because I'm still not. I'm not going to pick the Rockets for a play-in. I'm just not going to do that because the West is so strong. I'm just not going to do that. So, but the Rockets will be better this season. I feel very safe in that, but I'm not going to count them. And okay, and Tony, let me go. What's your win prediction for them for play-in? Are you above Brandon Thomas's 33 wins? Are you near Big Sarge's 37? So I just don't see that. I mean, because what the West is, I mean, the Lakers, if the wheels fall off the track and everything for the Lakers, they could still win more than the Rockets and miss the playoffs. So, Easy MB, thank you. That's a new name. Welcome to the show. Thank you for your comments. So, but yeah, I think the West is deeper, man. West is deeper. Guys are healthier. I don't know. I mean, I know. Okay, let me put this out there. We know this is a show about the Rockets. Okay, let's talk Houston Rockets. What about the Suns? Are we watching the end of the Suns window right before our eyes? Is the Suns window closing before our eyes? I say that, and I'm not even talking about last night's loss. I'm talking about players, not talking to coaches since since last season. Jay Crowder wants out. I mean, they got issues. Owners going to sell and make a lot of money, but Monty Williams going to have to bring them in together. So that'll be interesting to see what they do, and how if they fall off a cliff. So, they're not together right now, that's for sure. So we'll see how long that lasts, and will it get to a point, because what is it? DeAndre Ayton can be traded. It's not a calendar year, is it? He can be traded next year, like by the deadline, right? Am I right on that? Maybe, not to the Pacers, but he can be traded at some point, right? I think. God correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But that's the Suns, not the Rockets concern, So they could fall off a cliff. So that could be a team that comes back and wins to, thank you, Easy and Beat, January 15th, thank you. Could fall back to the pack. But then you still got the Warriors still should be good. Memphis, the Clippers, Denver, Dallas. Have the Mavs played? What has Seawood done yet? Have they played a game yet? What have they done yet? On paper, on paper, New Orleans, of course, but Sacramento Kings, they believe they're better than the Rockets. On paper. We'll see during the season. Terry put this up. I think the Rockets should run I don't say a lot, but offense through ALP, because of his passing, because of his vision, it allows Jalen and Scoot to move without the ball. Makes it easier for them sometimes, take some of the pressure off of them, and he can rack up some assists. Better ball movement, better player movement. I'm all for that. So they should do that, and I think they will. So, and notice I said I call them the Sacramento Kings because they've been so bad for so long. But is this the year they end their drought, their playoff drought? I doubt it. But but on paper, we shall see. They got some nice pieces there. We shall see. Where is that, Mike Will? What's your comment about the NBA app? Who you answering? Question 2 about the NBA app. What's that too? But yeah, a lot of good teams in the West. We may see some teams, and usually there's always a team or two that surprises, good and bad. So could Phoenix be the team that surprises bad and takes a step back with all of their issues? Could be. Could the Rockets be a team that surprises good? A lot, very good. I'm not going there yet. I need to see a lot more for that to happen. But the West is still the West. Kawhi he's back. He should be. He looks like he's ready to go, ready to wreak havoc on the league. Looking forward to his games. So it's going to be fun. Let me see if I can pull up the schedule here. Like I said, the Rockets will have practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think media is supposed to be there around the afternoon tomorrow, I think. So I'm going to be there for that. So yeah, the Rockets play the Clippers in LA on Halloween night, and then here in Houston on November 2nd. So that'll be interesting. And of course, we're talking about, not a lot of us talking about the Rockets winning a lot of games. Was surprising some folks. 10 of the Rockets' first 13 games this season are on the road. So if the Rockets struggle during those 10 road games, will that impact them? Will that hurt their psyche? Will they go from have some doubts about it? Man, we played so well in the preseason and now we're struggling. We'll see. And I mean, if y'all forgot, Hawks on the road, home against the Grizzlies, on the road against the Bucks, home against next 2 games against Utah, W's. Blazers on the road. We said this weeks ago, Portland on the road, and then Phoenix, and then the Clippers. That Phoenix game, who knows what the Suns will be like on October 30th. But then the Rockets the next night play the Clippers. That's back-to-back. And then they come home after that road trip, play the Clippers again. Then go back on the road and play Minnesota, at Orlando on November 7th, then at Toronto on November 9th, and then at Pelicans on November 12th, and then home for the Clippers on November 14th, and then at Dallas on the 16th. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot for a young team to grind through. So let's see. The Nuggets got the best starting 5. Well, Jamal's back. MPJ's back. So I saw KCP struggle tonight. From the bit I saw, he was, I think, 1 for 7 from the floor. A lot of good looks just missed. That's one of those things too. So he missed a reverse layup too. I remember that. But just think about it. The West is stacked, and so is the Eastern Conference. One of my colleagues knows I'm a Detroit Pistons fan, and he's like, your team's going to be the one of the teams to watch the league pass. And he's ready to place a wager on Detroit's over-under for wins. And I'm like, ooh, okay, hold up. Because I don't know what it is, really, but I don't know if I go take the over. Brandon Thomas, DeMarcus is still waiting to sign with the team. So I think he was in the mix for Boston, and they went with Blake Griffin. So he's still waiting. He'll get a look at some point this season. But yeah, James Robinson. I'm not sure how old most of the family here is on the show, but I'm not a Rockets fan because I'm media. I'm not going to be a fan of a team I cover. It's first things first. I don't agree with that. I don't root for the Rockets. I cover the Rockets. So you guys can be the fans of the Rockets, and that's what y'all are here for. That's why I want to talk to you guys. But I'm not a fan of the Rockets. I'm a fan of the Pistons. I've been a fan of them for 36 years. Okay. And they've sucked for a long time. A long, long time. And I'm still a fan. So, but yes, that's the side of that. But yeah, Blake Griffin's on his last legs. But he got to look. And I think that the deal he signed with Boston is a guarantee for this year. It's good for him. But the injuries took its toll, and he just has been the same since. But man, he was something. That one healthy, well, what was it? 65 games of health with Detroit. He carried them to the playoffs. And then the leg just broke down. He had nothing left to give. He hadn't been the same since. But no, Brandon, I am not a Rockets fan. You talk to any of my colleagues, any of my buddies who are media, they know I am not a Rockets fan. No. I cringe when I hear some media folks talk about we this, we. Y'all don't play for the Rockets. y'all no, that's not me. We don't do that. I don't we the Pistons. No, they are Detroit Pistons. No, we nothing. Our media, and I'm very serious about that. the old heads that taught me, when I first started in this business a long time ago, you're not a fan. This is your job. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And that's what I stick with. Yes. So, Brandon, it'll be a split. Rockets and Detroit will split this year. So, Dwight's still a free agent. I think Dwight was one of the bigs that Boston looked at when with Blake. So, hey, it is what it is. I think Dwight, like DeMarcus, at some point, they'll get a look. Until they put in their papers, their retirement papers, they'll get a look from somebody. So we'll see about that, going forward. All right. Final score. What was the final score of the Rockets East over Brooklyn? Because last I saw, it was I think the Rockets East were up by almost 20 over the Nets in the fourth quarter. The game was close until late in the third quarter, and they went on a run. Brooklyn, I want to say Brooklyn took a lead in the third, and then the Rockets East stretched it out and won by a lot. So, in OKC, was that game over? What's the final score there? Memphis. What was it? Memphis and it was Orlando. What did Memphis do to them? And if anybody can glance at the box score, did Junior play? Kenneth Lofton Jr. get any run with Memphis tonight? Because the bit I saw, he didn't get off the bench. So, thank you, WK. Appreciate that. And James Harden and Joel Embiid did not play in the Sixers win over Brooklyn. So OKC, well, pick-wise, Chet's going to be out. And we'll see. What is it? Let me pull it up again. Remember, if anybody wants to get a look at Victor Wembanyama, he will be on TV tomorrow, Tuesday. Oops, wrong button. October 4th at, was it 9 o'clock? Let me see. What is it? My phone is not cooperating here. Let's see. Yeah, 9 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, and then 2 p.m. on Thursday. And the games will be on ESPN2 and also on, again, the NBA app. So you're trying to hype up that, get everybody on that app. See, there we go. But yeah, James Harden looks slim and trim. Finally, took him all this time. Good for him. Kenneth Lofton did not play. All right, thank you for that, Alan Luna. I appreciate that. So, but yeah, I'm going to try to get a look at Victor because the clips of and of course Scoot Henderson too. So I want to see Scoot play as well. So get a look at the projected top 2 picks in the 2023 NBA draft. Get to see a chance to look at them on Tuesday and Thursday this week. Victor now is apparently grown to 7'4", which means he's like Ralph Sampson to me. So I think that analogy, I'm going to stick with it. I think he's just Ralph Sampson, young Ralph, with more of a perimeter shot. Nothing wrong with that for today's NBA. But all right, once again, get back to it. The good news, the big news, the Rockets signing Bruno Fernando to a 4-year deal. 4 years, not quite $12 million total. The first season is guaranteed. So Victor's hard work paid off. So good for him. Congrats to him. The most intriguing team in the West for me, WK. Hell, it might be Phoenix. Because I'm wondering how they're going to handle all the holes in the dam. How are they going to plug all these holes? So, Brandon, I think so. I think he is. I think Ron Hollins is still signed. If you don't know, haven't heard, seen it announced it on Twitter, Kaylee Griffin is no longer with the Rockets organization. Vanessa's last name? Richardson will be the new sideline reporter for the Rockets. So, give me your thoughts on how she does this Friday. So, yep, I think Night Owl, thank you for your participation in the show. I think the Suns' window is closed. Their championship window is closed. It's amazing how quickly things can change. You know, it just wasn't that long, but now look at it, it's closed. Terry, thank you very much. And remember, Terry, let me know when you are coming to the States and coming to H-Town for a game. And so we can try to catch up at a game. And who was it? Sandoval, Jorge, is he? I haven't seen his name on the comments today. But I was sitting at the top of section 106. Just an FYI for anybody who wants to try to, stop by section 106. At the very top of section 106, media sits at those tables. So if you want to stop by and say hi to me, please do. Let me know ahead of time. Let me, so we can talk and, I can put a face to some of these names. That's, nothing wrong with that. So thank you very much, as always, for tuning in. Tony M, thank you. Thank you, Tony M, for your comments and your support of this channel, the Houston Roundball Review channel. You are, you're there a lot. So we appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Intriguing. Denver, Brandon, hey, Denver's up there. We can talk about the Clippers with John Wall there, with Kawhi back, how will they be? There's a lot. The West is going, like I said. But yes, Kaylee's back in Cleveland, home. She's from that area. I think her fiance is from that area as well. So congratulations to her. So it's nice when good things happen to good people. And Kaylee is a good person. So happy for her. Congrats to her and her. I know they got engaged. I'm not sure if they got married, but happy to both of them. But all right, Rocket fans, I want to go catch some of this Darvin Ham-led Lakers against the Kangs. Tari is not a lot to start. Not yet. And at some point he will. But I also wonder if he just his best role might be coming off the bench and play a lot of minutes that way. As Eric Gordon is going to start as long as he's here. I see him starting in that lineup. It's either EG or Jayshawn Tate, and I think most times it's going to be Eric Gordon. So we'll see. But y'all know I was high on Tari Eason in the summer. And I thought he'd be a great fit for the Rockets. So he looks good in a Rockets uniform. He's playing well. He makes things happen. He's a defensive playmaker. So he's a good fit. I'm going to end it like I pretty much started it. The future of the Rockets is very bright. I think good days are ahead for Rocket fans. And one good thing, as KDC commented right here, after a timeout, the Spurs came out in a zone defense, and Eric splashed a deep three. The zone was over. That was it for that. So I was like, well, Eric just shot them out of that zone. So, okay. As always, WK, thank you. Night Out, KDC, Solo D-Lo, Brandon Thomas, Tony M. Let me see. Let me go through my names here if I miss anybody. Mike Will, thank you. Tari Eason, thank you as always. Alan Luna, thank you as always for your support. To the entire Let's Talk Houston Rockets family, thank you for your taking time out of your day to talk Rockets with me. So I appreciate it as always because I know you have other places to talk Rockets. So I appreciate you taking time to talk with me about the Rockets here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Like the videos, become a subscriber to the channel. Tell your friends about this channel. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your friends to like the videos. Support us. Support me. Support my other shows as well on the channel. Got more things coming. I got another high school kid agreed to be on our Folks Talking Sports show when he makes his college choice. So I'm trying to deviate into that part of shows and announcements. So Branson out. So thank you as always, everybody. Until this Saturday. Y'all take care. We'll talk Rockets Raptors Saturday. Until then, peace.